What's the worst thing that you guys have seen a big bad evil guy do in a campaign? Like the most evil, sinister, nasty thing that made you pucker your asshole.
I'm trying to think about it. Like, a lot of our big bad evil guys have just been like very generic big bad evil guys. Like
this beholder.
Yeah, right. Like, why are you bad? Because you're a beholder. All right, we're going to kill you. There's been very few notable, like, mustache twirling, actually devious big bad evil guys that I've played against. I mean, we've had the Rakshasa character from the previous campaign that used its shape change ability to change itself into several different serial killers and was going through doing several different...
It committed genocide at least twice.
Yeah. All to really irk specific members of the party, right? Like, there's that level of stuff. I think there's also kind of a generic...
I don't know why you guys are struggling with this. I've straight up murdered your family members.
I'm good to go. I'm just letting you say.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
I think my favorite, most evil thing is Saint Daclaos that Adam does for us once a year that ruins Christmas for everyone. But the one year that you played it when Jamie was in our group and everybody got a gift and distracted us with our greed and shiny things, so that when the final person to go, which was Jamie, got a mimic, was forced to fight it by himself because literally
in the dark,
in magical darkness, because literally everybody at the table did not give a fuck that he was about to die because we had the new shiny thing we were pulling with. Could not even register that he was in trouble.
As another person who has played in this party, having almost died because the rest of the party didn't give a shit that I was fighting a mimic, I get it.
He was getting legitimately mad that we were not helping him, and I couldn't even, my ears were not even hearing that he was in trouble. I didn't even know because I was so fascinated by this gift. So he used his big bad evil guy just to bestow gifts upon us so that he could kill one of us and we wouldn't care. Truly testing our loyalty, and we failed massively.
Straight up murdering my daughter after weeks upon months upon weeks of hunting her down to finally be able to rescue her. And as soon as we get there, literally the session, we free her from where she was trapped, straight up murder her and her unborn child in your arms.
Yeah. Adam killed my wife as well. So
slowly slit her throat in front of you.
Yeah. I didn't go into details about yours, so
it's a little personal here, Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Adam?
The most evil thing that I have ever done, and it's funny because as a DM, it never hits our top 10. In my opinion, it was to Terry's character, who was like, hey, you know what? I've got this big, deep backstory about how I've never been good enough for my father. And then the big, bad evil guy, who's just chaotic evil, as chaotic evil as they come, popped in and said, hey, you know what? I've got your father chained up on this wall, and then pulled back the curtain, sure enough he was. And he's like, you need to murder him for me, or I will kill him and then you. And just trapped Terry I trapped him in a cutscene.
Yeah.
Of like, choose your own adventure. Like, you can, if yes, flip to this page. If no, flip to this page.
Yeah.
And I literally had a script with multiple pages on it. And I said, so, will you kill your father? And Terry's like, yes.
Yeah, and I think that's because it happened really early in the campaign. Like, I expected that you maybe would do something like that later, but you caught me off guard by doing it so early that it's like I wasn't prepared for that level of choice so early. I thought maybe we might, I don't know, fight 3 goblins or something. And then you put that in front of me. So I was like, fuck, help, anyone, what happened to the party? We split the party. We were playing for 3 minutes and we split the party.
But I mean, I murdered a player character last night in my Tuesday group, because we record these on Wednesdays. So, and that was with will-o-wisps.
Yeah.
You've killed me with intellect of hours.
Yeah. I killed Jamie's character and then brought him back by sacrificing his best friend, who was a dwarf, who had to cut his own throat over the body of Jamie's character to bring him back after teaming up with the big bad evil guy. And the worst part about it is he was a dwarf that cutting his own throat, and he had to cut through his beard to do it.
Yeah, you've done some pretty savage things. You killed my character with a death tyrant, turning him into a zombie, so the rest of the party then had to kill me again.
Yeah.
Literally 1 minute after I died in the first place.
Adam has been like, we're wrapping up this Forbidden campaign with Lockie, with these characters that we have been talking about since we started recording this podcast. We're wrapping up this campaign, and Adam is just dropping these hints where it's like, it is going to get far worse before it gets anywhere near better. And we entered into this campaign going, it's going to be a nice short one. It's going to be dark, but it'll be short, so it'll be fine. A year and a half later, we're all just like, pulling ourselves through this campaign.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten so invested with our characters, with the relationships.
Shit, that's what I did on Sunday. Is I had sorry, Dan. So I had the Dragonborn that had through chicanery gotten wings.
Yeah.
And I had Demogorgon literally rip them off of her
after trying to get the
eat
paladin to do it for him.
Yeah. So, like,
I also like the vindictive things you've done like that as well, because I did, 214 damage in a single round.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And then the dragon proceeded to breathe on me and then fall on me.
You're welcome.
yeah, classic terror.
Falling would require an action. She merely stopped flying.
Yeah.
Okay. And did,
I don't know if falling
did
counts,
80 something.
No, 158 in a turn.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Because I walked away with 11 hit points.
Because 100 tons of dragon fell on you.
100 tons of the aspect of Tiamat fell on me. Yeah.
That's a free action.
I guess, yeah, I'm a pretty good bad guy. Now I'm thinking about it. Nobody talked about sacrificing the undead baby fetus on the
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. And, that's what I was going to get to is there's been some things that have happened in the campaign because of big bad evil guys, but aren't actively committed by big bad evil guys.
It's the choices that Adam does. Like, I can't remember the detail. It's like the avatar of death or someone else that did. It sounded equally as bad.
Yeah, the avatar of the anti-god. No, yeah. but there was also the time that you guys ended up with a TPK, and then what I did was I made it so that you were all knocked out, so that you had to make the choice which ones of your favorite NPCs got their throats slit to raise Demogorgon into the world.
Yeah, no, it's been you made me sign a pact with a
Coven of Hags,
who are now walking around with the skulls of the creatures we left in their care.
Oh, you made me have sex with a hag.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you guys left the last living Kenku in the world after the genocide, the little boy whose name was Snaps, because he snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
And he's like 8 years old, and you guys left him in the care of the Hags, and now the head hag is wearing his skull as a necklace.
Snaps is dead?
Yeah, 100% dead.
Oh. Why do we play this game?
Welcome to It's a Mimic with your DMs, Adam, Dan, and Terry.
Welcome to another episode of the It's a Mimic podcast, the Roundtable Dungeons and Dragons discussion, where you never know what you're going to get. I am Dan, and with me are Adam and Terry,
Hello.
and today we're talking about red dragons.
Not in the fucking mood already.
You remember when I gutted your prostitute girlfriend in the trees?
Why?
Blood rained down upon you?
Why are you laughing? You should clarify that she was an NPC in a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yes.
Not that you gutted my prostitute girlfriend.
And then I remember how immediately after that, one of the manticores that gutted it immediately became part of our party.
Gutted.
Wow, dude. Showing your true colors.
Yeah.
Sex workers are people too.
I'm a terrible person. So anyways, today we're talking about the final chromatic dragon, the big red baddie himself, the red dragon.
We're talking about red dragons.
Yeah, the big red baddie himself, the red dragon.
Yep, doing it. Red dragons are probably the most iconic. We've had this discussion before with which one do you feel is like the most iconic of the dragons. I know, Terry, you've said red or green. Adam, you said black or green before.
Black's my favorite.
Yeah, but reds, by and large in this game, have become the more iconic bad guy.
They're the D&D dragon.
They're the D&D dragon. They're on more DM screens. They're on more book covers than any of the other types of dragon. They are known to be large and they love to be in charge. Red dragons are the most covetous and the most proud and prideful of all of dragon kind. They suffer no other dragon to be around them, believing themselves to be superior immensely than other dragons, and that's...
But they have the muscle to back that up, too.
But they also have the muscle to back it up. They are also incredibly driven towards hoarding treasure. They're the ones where, like Smaug, where you have the massive pile of treasure. They are the exact same way. With that, gathering more and more treasure, but they know They know the amount of treasure they have in their hoard down to the single coin. And if you should steal a single coin and they do not catch the thief that did it, which they probably will, but if they don't, they will wreck every single village, hamlet, caravan, friggin' campground for miles around just to sate their wrath. They are evil, vicious, rageful beasts who seek dominion over everything. They are the emperors and kings, self-proclaimed, of all dragonkind. They crave status. They will enslave other chaotic evil humanoids, either by wiping out the tribe's leaders and just saying, I own you now, or by just straight up enslaving huge swaths of humans just to get other information on other red dragons or other dragons in the area and sending them out, because red dragons, unlike all metallic dragons, can't shape change, so they've got to use their little minions to get the information about their kingdom. From a mechanic standpoint, we're going to go from the wormlings all the way up to see what a red dragon, right out of the gate, have more hit points than the other dragons of the chromatic kind of the same age bracket. So a red wormling has more hit points than any of the other wormlings. They are just meatier, they are bigger, they are stronger. They also have higher armor class, typically, than the other dragons. They have blind sight right off the gate. They have,
It doesn't matter.
They have blind sight.
That's your t-shirt. That's going to be your t-shirt.
Right
Right
off
off the gate.
Yeah.
Right out of the bat.
And they start with their bites, which, I mean, it's decent enough at a D10 damage for a CR4, with an additional D6 fire damage. But they also get their fire breath, which is 7d6, as a wormling red dragon. Going up to the young red dragons, we have, at a CR10, we have slightly better AC, way more hit points. They're already faster. Their blind sight and dark vision all go through the roof as a 30-foot blind sight. And as a young dragon, they get multi-attack, with their bite and claws. And their breath weapon does 16d6. Moving to an adult red dragon, which are a CR17. These things, just as adults, are already beastly. They're already tier 4 threats. They have their, again, slightly better AC, but another monster dump of hit points added on top. Their speed is unchanged between a young and an adult red dragon. However, their blind sight has definitely extended to a range of 60 feet, which means rogues, they're seeing you. This is also when your dragon becomes legendary, getting its 3 legendary resistances a day, as well as several legendary actions, which we'll talk about in a second. They get their multi-attack, which includes its frightful presence, which it also gets as an adult red dragon. Now its multi-attack is its bite and 2 claws, but you could also choose as one of its actions to hit with its tail. We're still not seeing any wing buffets in these dragons, and I think that's sorely missed. We also have their fire breath, again, recharging on 5s and 6s. That is 18d6, and as a CR10.
Yeah,
Sorry, CR17.
That's freaking insanity.
It's insanity. Now, as legendary actions, they can just detect. They make their perception check, which I would like you to note that the perception's a plus 13. So, as a legendary action, they see you. Mm-hmm. They just do. They get their tail attack, and hey, there it is. They get their wing buffet as a legendary action. Costs 2 actions to do it, but they can do it. It does 2d6 damage to any creature within 10 feet of it, and then they get knocked prone.
I have just a little correction.
Sure.
You said that the AC is higher across the board. The white dragon's AC is lower, but everything else is exactly the same until ancient.
Okay.
And then the red dragon has the highest AC, but it's by a matter of 1.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's enough to make a fraction of a difference.
Sure. Yep. Then we get to the ancient red. He's got that AC of 22. He's got that mountain of hit points, which can be up close to, if you go full max hit points, you're getting close to 800 hit points, 700 hit points with him. You have massive strength. He's immune to fire damage. His perception's a 16. He's got his legendary resistances. He's got his multi-attack with his frightful presence again, which is a bite attack, which is doing 2d10 plus 10, plus another 4d6 fire damage. You got his claw attacks, which are again massive, and his tail attack is there as well. Frightful presence is huge, but at this point, when you're fighting a CR-24 creature, which the Ancient Red Dragon is, most of your party's immune to fear, for the most part. So that's.
But
not really...
what's the save on it though?
Oh, 21 wisdom.
There'll be one or two that'll panic.
There'll be one or two that'll panic.
And that all of those NPCs, archers or whatever you brought with you to help fight them, they're not immune to fear.
Yeah, make no mistake. Ancient Red Dragon is an end of the campaign big bad evil guy.
Yeah. This is where you bring in multiple forces to help you take this thing down. You
spend an entire level 1 to 20 campaign building up the forces and the resources to take out one of these guys. They're huge. They have a 26d6 DC 24 dexterity saving throw fire breath.
Well, you're taking full damage on that, aren't you?
Yep. And it's also a 90-foot cone. So everything that way is dead. It's dead. It is cinders. It is ash blowing in the breeze. It is gone. Now, as 3 legendary actions, they can also detect still. They can make one of their tail attacks as one of their legendary actions, or they can make a wing attack, which is, again, their buffeting, which is a DC 25 dex save, or take 2d6 plus 10 damage and be knocked prone. The dragon can then fly up to half its speed, which is another 40 feet. These things are absolutely terrifying, absolutely huge, but they gotta live somewhere, so we're gonna talk about their layers. We'll talk about the regional effects first, because I find building into it is really, really cool. The region around a Red Dragon's lair, which will be a mountainous region. They prefer mountains. Kind of think of they like sitting on top of their throne and looking down amongst their subjects. So they're going to the highest points to rest their head. And that highest point is going to be a mountain top. And miles around that mountain or wherever their throne is, small earthquakes are common within 6 miles. Water sources are warm and tainted by sulfur. And rocky fissures within a mile of the lair, which, by the way, this is any adult or ancient dragon, will have portals to the elemental plane of fire randomly pop up and spew forth elemental fire into the world nearby. So, fire elementals are just randomly wandering around. Now, if the dragon dies, these regional effects last for another 1d10 days before they'll finally peter out. In the lair itself, the dragon can have magma erupting in gigantic pillars of flame across the battlefield. These are they are 20 foot high, 10 foot diameter, so 5 foot radius, geysers that are spewing from the ground. That's a relatively low dexterity save to take 6d6 fire damage or half as much on a successful one. They could also trigger a small tremor or earthquake within, making everyone make a dexterity save or, fall over. And lastly, they could fill a section of their lair with volcanic gases, causing each character within there to roll a constitution save or be poisoned until the end of its turn. While it's poisoned, that creature's incapacitated.
Holy.
Yeah. There is a lot going on with red dragons, and not a lot of it surprising if you've been paying attention to the dragon episodes up until this point. It's got a heavy fire bend. Their breath attack just does fire. They are so infused with heat that their bite attack does fire damage as well. I love these things.
So it says even that the oldest ones, their eyes look like orbs of molten lava, right?
Yeah, I love that.
And the young ones, you can see like flame flickering in their bright eyes.
I love all that stuff.
Yeah. So, guys, quick little breakdown of that. I do want to ask, What's your favorite tier for these guys? Like, which of these 4 is kind of your favorite to go to in a campaign? Do you start teasing them early as wormlings and then hit them big and hard at the end? Or do you just slow burn up to your ancient red dragon at the end of the campaign?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Well, should we roll for it?
Let's grab the dice and roll for it.
15. 5, 6. Oh, sorry.
I got 5. So, Terry?
Shall I answer all of your questions?
Sure.
Favorite tier for combat? You know what? I thought about it and it was like, I want to try some different things. I don't want to go for the obvious one, but I can't help it. The tier 4 later campaigns, that's everybody's dream, right? Is to have the opportunity to somehow fight and defeat Ancient Red Dragon. Mm-hmm. That is D&D in a box, isn't it? That's what you want. So for me, until I've been able to do that, that's going to be the tier that I want to see the Red Dragon at, is tier 4. I mean, you know, I'm not going to turn it away at any point, but that would be a goal for me. Favorite mechanical aspect?
Yeah.
Do you guys get favorite mechanical aspect? For me, based on the lore and the characteristics of the dragon, because they'll sit upon mountains, because they like to fly over their lands and survey, because they're always looking out over their territory, is actually their passive perception. It's 26. Because they are always actively surveying their lands and sitting atop their mountains, you cannot sneak up on this person. Yes, your rogue might go undetected for a short while, but everybody else is going to be detected. So that whole idea, Adam said it a couple of times, is that, you know, plans will never survive contact with the enemy. There is no plan for this. Or, if you have a plan, that plan better include the fact that dragon knows you are coming from at least 6 miles away. So for me, it sounds strange, but their passive perception, because it takes away any element of surprise you may have for that dragon. Mm-hmm. What was the other question? Did you ask me anything else there?
No. That was
all
it.
right. Okay.
Adam?
Okay, my favorite tier for combat for these guys is going to be tier 3.
I'm the same as you.
Just because I want to dangle this in front of the party and I want to destroy a kingdom before their eyes. I want the Siege of King's Landing.
Oh, when they're not quite powerful enough to
and
even
they know
attempt it.
they want to. The sorcerer's got an itchy wand finger on this one, right?
Yeah.
But everybody is just like, no, don't. You will
cannot
be
do this.
fucking flambéed, right?
The thing I love it is they're CR 17. At level 17, your full casters they've got their first 9th level spell. They're finally there. They've got it in their head.
No. I'm going to drop an ancient dragon on
at
them.
tier 3.
Oh, at tier 3. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I want you guys to know you're utterly fucked.
That's like going from when you're in middle school and you're the big kid to the older kid, and you think you run shit until your first day in high school, when you're like, oh, no, actually, I don't at all.
Yeah, you're still flying high off of that beholder kill you just had.
Yeah, good job,
and the
champ.
ancient red dragon comes in and just reminds you where your place in the food chain really is, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I like, and then they know we got to deal with that eventually, right?
Yeah.
I also... Yeah, you're gonna hate me for this. My favorite thing about red dragons is the fact that they are so completely chaotic and just ridiculous that they can't be a big bad evil guy. In my opinion, they're just too full of rage.
They're just roid rage.
Yeah, there's nothing that. What are you gonna do? Have a complex scheme? They are. Once you have defeated your big bad evil guy, these guys come in for the actual final battle. In my opinion, I know that they've got an intelligence of 18, but they're just too angry to use it.
Yeah.
So, I like the idea of them being controlled.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Right? Like the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I was kind of with you until that, but we mentioned...
I didn't mean control, I meant manipulated.
No, I mean specifically controlled. Because then when you kill the Lich or Evil King or whatever it is, the Mind Flayer, and the Red Dragon wakes up, now you got a final battle, right? Who's going to get out of this alive? Yeah. Because these things are environmental hazards more than anything else. And that's my favorite thing. But that's my favorite mechanical aspect about them is I know that it says that, or it's implied heavily that there's no, if you cast a fire spell or you knock over a torch or you put the torch down, you're not burning the house down. Unless it specifically says in the spell, this will catch things on fire in this radius, whatever. And there's nothing like that in the Dragon Breath.
No.
But fucking come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I am, you and I have both said multiple times that we don't like the fact that there are no auras anymore in D&D. there should be a like sweltering heat that just radiates off these guys. You should not be able to stand toe-to-toe with a red dragon without sweating.
Yeah, that for me is session zero stuff, the common sense stuff is about, look, like exactly like you said, an aura, or this is dragon breath, it will set you and everything it touches on fire.
Including your magic items.
Yes, some magic items. I think that you should be able to find magic items in the base of a volcano, right? But in my head, and I've always wanted to do this in a D&D campaign, but I feel like it's splitting hairs, but it just makes sense to me. There should be 5 kinds of fire. There should be the basic fire that you have resistance to. That's your normal fire spells and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Then there's lava, elemental fire, dragon breath, and hellfire. And you need to upgrade your fire resistance as you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Would you put Hellfire above Dragon Breath?
Absolutely, because it is a plane of pure burning evil and torment. Dragon breath is magic, but it's not planar magic, and elemental is lesser than its natural fire come to life, as opposed to dragon, which is magical, and then hellfire, which is pure
magical, and then also
almost kind of like divine. Really.
So it's and I would say that things like sacred flame or other certain, there's your fire cleric, your light clerics, which are all fiery and whatnot, would be able to tap into that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So there's different levels of fire. Dragon fire needs to be scarier than it is, and it should just light everything on fire.
Yeah.
Look at their wings in the picture. Their wings have been burned and they're in tatters.
I would even describe Dragonfire as actually being like blue and white, like as it comes out more than red. To describe the heat of it. Yeah.
So anyway, that my favorite mechanical thing of it is the fire, and I don't think we're playing enough with it. It's just copy paste from previous dragons, right?
Yeah.
It's not cold, it's not lightning, it's not acid. What's our other one? Necrotic? Okay, I guess we have fire left. Here we go, red dragon, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want something more.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I disagree with you on them not being able to be the maniacal planner, and
I think that your level 20 bard is going to get under his skin and just be able to put him on tilt. He's going to be able to get in his head and psych him out and make him tweak, and he's no longer your big manipulative bad guy. He is a brute.
Yeah, I mean, you can have intelligence, you can have super intelligence and still just have roid rage, or still just, everybody still has their mood.
The dragon that's roid raging is the white in my mind.
No, but
the red dragon
not rage,
takes
though.
That's not
not rage. That's just being primitive. That's just being primal. What I'm saying is he can be a maniacal thinker, but you can piss him off easily. Like, that's rage. You've made him angry. He knows deep down inside this is probably not smart, but he's just people get mad. The smartest people in the world get mad.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I still would say that because it does mention things like him controlling, entire cultures of people and really seeking to slave, trying to have his status mean more than anything else. Being waved off is just, slightly angrier version of other dragons.
But they do that in the lore itself, in the text, is the fact that if you take a single gold piece, he burns that kingdom he built to the ground.
If he doesn't catch the guy.
If he doesn't catch... Right, but still,
right?
Like, that's the same thing.
I'm saying, yeah, they could be angry, yeah, they could be big. And I think a lot of it is also a little bit of, there is a certain amount of familiarity that is associated with red dragons, so that when you go into them, they're the big, angry, red, fire-breathing dragon. They are so stereotypical. They're such a almost cliched thing to play against the table that a lot of people like to just either downgrade their power or their intelligence or whatever it is to shoehorn them into other levels of the game, or they add to the dragons. And we've seen this in previous editions as well, where they've stapled a Baylor to a red dragon's chest to up his power. Or there's been others that have taken shards of the elemental plane of fire and injected into their chests to enhance their firepower.
Yeah, and I think that's the people that have seen it before, though. But I'm firmly in belief, and I don't think there's any way we can get these numbers, that D&D now has more new players than experienced players.
Oh, 100% it does.
So these people are not looking for that at this point.
And how often do you run into an ancient red dragon where you can tackle them? How many campaigns get to level 20?
Yeah.
Very, very rarely.
Most people are going to... Sorry, Dan. Most people are going to fight an ancient red dragon in a one-shot because they want to do it, right? So when you're putting them in a campaign... To me... Okay, so here's the difference. All right. Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. He's evil. He's manipulative. He's got everybody's number, and he runs the show.
I've never seen it.
Fuck off.
Oh my
Terry.
God, Terry.
And then Tom Cruise gets under his skin on the stand, and all of a sudden, when he can't handle it anymore, he goes on, "You can't handle the truth" rant, and he blows up all of his plans, and he condemns himself out of rage. I'm not saying the Red Dragon is that way all of the time, but I'm saying when you kick off that last battle, when you finally go toe-to-toe and get into a fight with him, it is because that's it, gloves off, here we go, fuck you.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm
right.
with you.
And so that's what I mean by rage. The barbarian is just gonna piss in his lair. The bard is just gonna like vicious mockery, cutting words at him.
Yeah.
Right? They're just going to get, the paladin's gonna be like, yeah, but my God. Right? And he's just not gonna have anything else to say.
Which is better than you.
Yeah.
So.
It's fine. Okay, fine. Here we go. I'm fighting you. This is it. And I don't think there's much more to that.
I kind of see it as a similar thing, but it'd be like they would have all of their best plans, and we're making these plans, and we're gonna go and invade this region, and I just imagine the kobold accountant coming in for the weekly report, and
sir,
we're down 5 coins in the east, we're fucking what? Just like losing his mind, forgetting the plan.
This is just like a dragon-shaped hole in the side of the mountain. Oh, he's mad again.
He's enslaved several Duergar whose job are just to craft tables and chairs for him to throw across the room.
Comes back out in the staff room now, interviewing you accountants. The same sign from last week.
It has been 0 days since an outburst.
But seriously, if you do that to a green dragon, he's going to narrow his eyes and he's coming back for revenge. You do that to a black dragon, he's just going to straight up try to gut one of you and book it. You'll never do that to a white dragon because he's already come at you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And a blue dragon will say, okay, I'll see you in 3 levels.
Yeah.
And he's going to go off and like, he's not even mad, not in your face, right? He's going to step back. But a red dragon is just going to eat your head.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Step 1, breath weapon. Step 2, fly.
Step 3,
breath weapon.
Breath weapon.
Yeah, right? Like, there's no real tactical move here the way that there would be with the black dragon stalking you or a white dragon hunting you or whatever it is.
So
right?
if there's no straight up tactic, let's ask this question now.
Oh, okay.
What is a unique, unexpected, unorthodox tactic for a red dragon?
Rolling?
We're gonna roll dice on this one.
I'm gonna win again. That's
Doesn't
a
count. It's
19.
got to be in the box.
Come
You hit
on,
the
Dan.
mic with it too.
18.
Adam's going first.
You're just
Harry.
going second. I'm still
second.
going last. The DM is going last all the time right now.
It's unheard of.
The red dragon is not, he does not want to have the final word. Your smoking body is the last word. That's his last laugh. His last laugh is going back to his lair after he's decimated you and your family and your village and your kingdom and your species. And he's going back to his lair and he's going, ha, fuck, yeah, got him, yes!
Looking in the mirror.
Yeah, right? Because he won.
Just like pounding his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Unlike the black dragon, that's going to peel your skin off and keep you alive.
or the blue dragon that wants you to know he's going to leave one survivor and he wants you to spread the word.
Yeah.
The red dragon is just like, yes is what it is. The white dragon's just eating you and moving on to the next. Right?
You said a word, so the white dragon killed you. Yeah.
Yeah. So the red dragon does not hunt, doesn't stalk, doesn't sneak. The red dragon flies down beside the house and blows fire through the window. This is not roll initiative. This is roll a deck save.
Yeah.
And no, you don't have advantage on this.
Yeah.
You are just going to, it's a 90-foot cone, and he just came at you. In the middle of the night, you don't get a deck save because you're asleep in your camp. There's no social encounter that starts this off. Mm-hmm. There's no warning sign that this is coming. He just hits. And he continues to hit until he thinks you're dead. And that's the scary thing about him, is that he is going to dash. He will double move into your space right now. And he's not going to wait, right? He's not going to try to strategically come in from the north nope, none of that shit. Beeline. Here it is. This fight's coming to you. I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you. I'm bigger than you. And you're going to burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that, some people can say, that arrogance is a weakness in a way, but I mean, marginally so.
You know? Have you guys seen?
They've got the ability to back it up.
Have you seen the footage of Muhammad Ali, like just ducking? What is it, like 29 jabs in less than 15 seconds, and the other guy's exhausted, and he just sits there and like taunts him, and he just like wiggles his head at him. Like, what are you gonna do, right? That is a red dragon, but out of anger. Like, you can't hit me. I am better than you. I'm going to hit you.
Clubber Lang from Rocky 3, good movie.
But you haven't fucking seen A Few Good Men.
I have. I realized that.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I didn't like it.
God, Jesus Christ, Terry. All right, so
are we just gonna get a tally of the like iconic movies Terry hasn't seen?
And all of the really normal words that you can't pronounce.
Yeah. Terry, God damn it, Dan.
All right, so but to answer like your big concept of well, this is cliche, this is standard. I feel like this is the time you're allowed to be.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, but also there needs to be a cliche. How many different types of dragons do we have? One of them is going to be the angry fire-breathing dragon.
and at some point in Dungeons and Dragons, when you say, hey, we're going to fight the dragon, it should be exactly what you signed.
It's on the wall behind you, right there in that DM screen.
I'm gonna throw different demons at you and different devils. I'm gonna throw freaking outsiders, and angels are gonna have weird motivations behind them. And what the fuck is a Modron thinking, right? And you're never gonna know what the shit is coming.
11010011001.
So, but when a red dragon comes at you, you should know. You signed up for this. You know this is coming. You saw it burn down the kingdom. The whole, the palace got melted. And then it flew away. And then you decided to go check that out. You know what this is. Mm-hmm. There's no surprise. So that's for me. My unorthodox usage is don't break the mold on this. Have him come in, just...
Your unorthodox usage is to be orthodox?
Is to play this one straight.
I agree with it though, because I think you're right. There's times when it's just leaning into the cliche. You got a million dragons to choose from. Yeah, you got about 12. You got about 12 dragons to choose from. You got 12 dragons to choose from.
It may feel like there are a million after these episodes.
Yeah, but there's a time, right? There's a time when this is the time when people want this. I want this. I've never fought a red dragon, ancient red dragon like this. I want to be terrified and experience that.
Well, and it's one of those things that I think has 5th edition has done a bit of a disservice to the ancient red dragon and ancient dragons in its ilk, and they're just gargantuan. They are just really big. They are not massive. Like, one of my most prized possessions, we've mentioned her a couple times on the podcast, is Sheila. Sheila is my colossal red dragon miniature that I've had for...
I really thought you were going to say your wife.
Yeah, I thought maybe.
My wife's not my
And
possession.
then I was thinking, who's Sheila? But yeah.
But Sheila's made it onto the Instagram page as a couple things. My kids know I love that dragon so much that
more than them, yes.
No. Do not put that on me.
Them.
No. That when they were going to have a picture at their, a picture day at their school where they needed to do something like their dad because it was a Father's Day thing, they said they needed 2 things. A hammer, because I'm a construction worker, and Sheila. Those are the 2 things they needed.
Sheila's the name of my hammer.
Yeah. The last woman
I'm not a construction worker.
The last...
Ladies.
I was just talking about my kids, man.
Never mind. I had one, but I'll let you go.
But, Terry, what about you? An unorthodox usage.
My unorthodox usage is to use the arrogance of the red dragon against them, okay? If you know they are all rage and fire and decimation, that is great. And if you know how to trigger that, that's great, because then you can trigger it on your enemies. That's fine. So, there's time and a place when it's the whole enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing. This person is not your friend at all.
Definitely not.
But if there's an area that you need decimating, it could be a good idea to let this dragon think that those people did something wrong against it, and decimation is what you shall get. So my unorthodox usage is maybe don't try and fight that dragon head on yourself, but if you can trick them into fighting your enemies somehow, by leaning into their rage, then either you'll have that dragon killed, or you'll have your other enemies killed, and that can work just as well.
No, I have to agree with you, though, 100% about the idea of trying to point it at someone else. How do you kill the Tarrasque? you send a red dragon after an ancient red dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's be completely honest, it is not going to be hard to manipulate a red dragon into killing somebody. You sneak in there, you steal that one coin, and you plant it on somebody.
Yeah.
Right? These are dragons that, if they kill someone who was a particular thorn in their side, or an adventurer of power, or a king of power, or something like that, these dragons will put trophies of these characters' items up on the walls, around them, so they could bask in the glory of the defeat of
The half-melted statue of the local hero.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So go in there, steal like that ancestral sword, and just drop it in your enemy's pocket.
And it's more, what would you rather have around? So the Tarask, which is just going to destroy the entire world and just wander all over it, or the ancient red dragon that's going, this is my mountain, fuck off and never come here. Perfect. Okay, you're done. I'll go and live on the other continent. By the way, that Tarask stole your magic lamp. So
This is how you get rid of a blue dragon.
Yeah, right? So,
just snowball the problem.
the thing for me that I think is hardly and horribly underused for red dragons is their ability to, like, start earthquakes. Like, they're going to land next to you and they're going to blow their fire on you, but they're going to make sure you are as off-footed as possible before they hit the ground. And what are they going to do? They're going to cause earthquakes. They're going to cause tremors. They're going to hit the ground so hard that they cause a tremor. They're going to pull the essence of fire up from the ground, which is going to cause the earth to shake. Now it's difficult terrain everywhere and everyone's off-footed. Like, I love the fact that they are not only just fire-based, they're volcanic.
So, okay, I'm with you. But what does it look like when you hit a party with an earthquake? And so the very simple answer for me is, it's up in the mountains, you guys are crossing rope bridges, or you're teetering on a ledge, and it's a skill challenge. There's earthquakes shaking the ground, or you're not surefoot or whatever. But that's the environment side. I want you to look at a bullet. They actually have the ability to, do, it's not really thunder damage, but, they land, and they cause tremors in the ground.
It's like a shockwave out from them. Yeah.
That is the kind of thing that I would be doing with a red dragon. Especially the regional effects and the layer effects and whatnot when all this stuff is going off. I'm going to start looking at other monsters. I think the Zaratan, which is the earth elemental, the big gargantuan one, has tremor shit going on from Mordenkainen's.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is where I'm looking for inspiration mechanically on how to utilize these earthquakes beside, you guys feel the ground shake.
Well, the way I would do it is I would be as cinematic with it as possible. This is to mess up the battlefield. That's what this is here for. This is adding chasms with lava moving underneath
Right,
them.
but I'm talking about what save do you use? How much damage does it do? Are they knocked prone? All of this stuff. There are tools and there are clues in other monsters that are land-based that you can find.
Yeah,
And
I would also, even if they're outside of their lair, I would use a smaller version of that fire geyser. The fire geyser mechanic in their lair action. I'd use a slightly lesser form just as an aura around the dragon. If this thing's on the ground, walking and stalking towards you, gouts of flame should be shooting out of the ground around it. The ground should be cracking under its feet. This thing should just exude raw fury and power. Mm-hmm. And no other way is going to do that than having literally the ground breaking up under it.
I like the idea as well of them being so elitist and arrogant that almost that video game style, you get the boss to 0 hit points and then the health bar changes color and then when they get big. I like the idea of if they're close to death in their lair, if there's portals to the plane of fire, why are they not dragging you into the plane of fire with them, and then their last stand is there in their true environment?
Or pulling you into Avernus to fight in the fields over the Tiamat spawning pools.
Yeah, I think
these things should be causing hell for your party, and not just in the land that they're in.
And
I'm sorry if I'm thinking Tiamat spawning pools. It's not fire, man. It's just sticky.
Gross. Super gross.
Does Tiamat
but also
have
still
nipples?
hot. Does Tiamat have nipples? I mean, we got the miniature. We could check. No, she's a lizard.
No, she's not. She's warm-blooded. Dragons are not lizards, you fuck. No more so than a dinosaur is.
You call a dragon a lizard and see what happens. Yeah,
I've done it. It doesn't end well for any of my characters.
No.
At least 3 Oscars have died because he's called it a lizard.
Maybe the slightly smaller one will agree.
All right.
All right, so that's it for the mechanics and tactics for your Red Dragons. Next, we're going to be covering some social stuff after a word from this. Hey guys, Dan here with Adam. Normally this is a commercial spot, but because year one of the It's a Mimic podcast has surpassed all of our expectations because of you guys and the interactions we've had with you guys, this community that's built up around this podcast, we really wanted to reach out to you guys and give you kind of a taste of what year two is going to be like.
It's going to be even better. So normally we do lore episodes, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start looking at the popular campaign settings that have been published already for 5th edition.
Our world building series that we've had through year one is changing to be a breakdown of the races in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Yeah, we're still going to do class breakdowns because we're not even halfway done the subclasses, so each class is going to get even more subclass breakdowns as we go. Some of them will even have 3 or 4 episodes because of how many they have.
Oh yeah. We're going to be changing our coverage of the mob mentalities and changing it to portfolios as we break down some of the big monsters in D&D.
Yep, we're also going to take our dungeon mastery episodes, and we're going to focus more on mechanics and the nitty-gritties of the game and how to use them in session.
We are also still going to be continuing with our really popular Dragon Mastery episodes, but instead of covering all the chromatics, now we're covering the metallics and more.
We have more actual plays coming, including sequels to some of the stuff that we've already put out there. We've got more giveaways coming this year, more mailbags, and more random specials. But most importantly, the thing that Dan and I are the most excited about is this second show that we are building.
It's called The Campaign Builder, and it's Adam and I with our 2 completely different DM styles, kind of building inspiration for a campaign from session 0 to the very end. We're going session by session, tier by tier, level by level, encounter by encounter, idea by idea, even if they suck.
Yes, even the bad stuff will be in there so you can hear our foibles and how much that we are just as human as you. We also want your interaction. It's going to be a highly interactive show, and so it's going to be on the same channel. It's going to be an additional episode on the channel every week, so you're going to get to hear our voices twice. We're not apologizing for that.
You're welcome.
But you know where to find us, okay? But your friends don't. We have our website. It's www.itsamimic.com. We're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and most of the podcast catchers. But the thing that we are lacking more than anything else is the word of mouth. It really helps us. We need reviews on iTunes and every podcast catcher out there, and we need social media tags. So I'm kind of selling my soul to please help us get the word out, because this upcoming year is just going to be more and more. It's bigger and better, and Dan is never going to sleep again.
No, I rarely sleep now as it is. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for the success of year one. We're really looking forward to year two, but we should really take the ball gag off of Terry because he's getting itchy and we need to record.
Yes, that's more excitement than I'm comfortable with.
Welcome back to the It's a Mimic podcast. So up next, we're going to be talking about social encounters with these guys. And we've already kind of briefly touched on this. Your Red Dragons aren't necessarily in a talking mood. So, gentlemen, I want to, let's grab our dice. Let's roll for initiative here. I want to know, what does a social encounter with your Red Dragon look like?
I got a 10.
I got a 3.
I got a 4.
I was slow to roll because I was bringing up my page of notes.
Okay, so favorite social encounter only? You don't want me to go through the whole gamut of questions that we're dealing with? Just social.
Just this right now.
Okay. A social encounter with a red dragon, my ideal is going to be with a young red dragon. Because this is all the bluster and fury and anger of an ancient in a very smaller package. And you get to throw a tantrum with this thing. And I think that that's a lot more fun when you have a level 14 party with a CR 10 young red dragon just losing its shit. And like maybe somebody dragged it down. It woke up in a dungeon. How did I get here? Mm-hmm. Right? A blue dragon, an adult blue dragon swooped in and whooped its ass. And now it's just fucking angry.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just throwing a fit. Its legendary actions are used on knocking down pillars and tipping over the chair in the corner, and it's a child. It's a 13-year-old losing its mind. But no, this to me is definitely that's the social encounter, because I think that your players will know that one of them will die. Even level 14 to CR 10,
yeah,
one of them will probably die from the 16d6 fire damage, that its breath weapon's going to do. It's still a beast. It's got, like, on average, 178 hit points. That's hefty. It's going to drop somebody.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to go toe to toe with it. You probably could, but it's going to hurt, and you probably just want to calm this thing down. And if it's not even really attacking you, what's the big deal? Mm-hmm. I like the idea of maybe putting this raging young dragon in prison with your party. Your party gets arrested, goes down into the dungeons, and there are a number of other criminals. And then at the end of the hall is a red dragon whose fire breath goes off every time that someone walks by. Right? And so now your rogue is picking the lock with the rat bones that he found in the corner or whatever, right? And everybody steps out, and there's just a red dragon breath weapon coming at you guys. Or you could stop, and he's like, free me, free me, free me, free me, and I will fuck them up. I will go upstairs and I will just end everyone. Right? And like that is a fun social encounter because, I mean, even your lawful good party will go, well, if we don't have to fight all the guards.
Exactly. That's amazing how those paladins come around real fast.
When they don't have their armor or swords.
Well, technically, I'm not the one doing the killing, so I guess it's okay.
You're not wrong. It's amazing how quickly... I mean, you did it last night with the cleric. Okay, blah, blah, blah. An encounter starts. Okay, well, you were asleep, so you don't have your armor on. Okay, well, I'll just hang back in the tent for now, and I'll kind of see what happens. How very noble of you.
A player died because they were busy putting on armor. Because they didn't want to come out there with low armor.
Which they did not start to put on immediately, by the way. It was a couple of rounds, I think, before she decided to start.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Inter-party politics.
Everyone has all the noblest of intentions when their plate mail is on.
That's a tattoo I'm going to get.
So I'm kind of going in the same vein with my social encounter, and it is a adult red dragon who is dealing with a gold dragon or a ancient blue or something in the area, and they need it gone, but because of some sort of draconic pact or something else like that, they know they can't do it, so they're going to send you out to test its limits, see if maybe we could weaken it enough so that they could swoop in and get the final kill. Mm-hmm. This is a dragon that will levy its wealth with no intention of actually giving it to you, but knows that a party will, is enticed by the shiny things under its feet. So it will draw you in.
Parties are just a group of mortal individuals who think they're a dragon collectively. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly.
My money, my hoard, don't steal from me. If you do, how many players have gone nuts saying, wait a minute, what do you mean my gold is gone?
Yeah, exactly.
They're all just red dragons.
The gold that they never spend anyway, because they just steal everything.
You don't need to listen to the rest of this episode. The only inspiration you need is Steve sitting in the corner of your table, right?
What level 14 rogue flips his gourd when some bartender tries to charge him a gold for ale? Yeah. It's like, what is this? Lined with freaking dragons? Like unicorns' tears?
I did this last night with a golden harp that we found. I've been with this group for 3, maybe 4 sessions now, just getting to know everybody. And then one of the players was like, okay, I'll put the golden harp in my bag of holding. I was like, whoa! I took that golden... I don't need it. I'm a druid. I was like, I took that golden harp. I decide where it's going. It's going in my hands, and that's where it's staying. Like, absolutely no need for this fucking harp whatsoever.
Yeah, it was nearly heartbreaking.
Woof.
Took it on the harp strings.
The other. Anyways, the other one I would have is they enslave groups of evil humanoids, of orcs and kobolds and lizard folks, and
are they all evil? Like they're not going to enslave good just because they can?
They demand fealty from chaotic evil humanoids. They enslave those who don't immediately bend to their will. So I think the chaotic evil ones, they're giving them an opportunity to just bend the knee, but everything else, it's like, no, you're mine.
But what does a dragon's slave look like? I know what a drow slave looks like. I know what a mind flayer slave looks like. What does a dragon's slave do?
It's the one...
They pay taxes, right? Like that's the thing?
Well, they pay taxes. They are messengers. They're spies. They're informants.
Is Donald Trump a red dragon? All right, never mind. No. Orange dragon. Yeah, but let's move on. Let's move on. Okay.
Well, this is that old argument of, are they truly evil? Because to them, it's not evil intentions. They genuinely believe it is their divine right to rule.
I don't know. I think that Red Dragon's like, evil!
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I just think that they think it's their divine right to rule all. Like,
Well, I think it's their divine
they're Great Britain. Dragons of Great Britain.
It's their divine right to say, we don't give a fuck what your morality is.
Yeah.
There's no good or evil here. There's fire.
Donald Trump, you're fired. Boom.
There it is. All right.
So most of the humanoids that are enslaved or enthralled to a red dragon live in constant fear of being roasted. I love how they phrase it in the book. So
Like roasted like Ricky Gervais roasted
like
them?
the group chat. Like what?
no,
They're all
like
bards.
like put on a spit and turned. So I think another interesting social encounter you can have is your party have been retrieved by agents of the Red Dragon who are, they do not want to upset this thing. So they are bringing you alive and well to have a meeting with the dragon. Why? Because someone in your close group of friends, one of your allies, or maybe a mutual enemy has stolen something from them, and it is not worth the dragon's time to take care of it. So you could do it.
No, I like what you're saying, but I like the idea that the dragon's too pissed off and raging is like pacing back and forth.
Oh yeah.
But then has his advisor is like taking care of it, is like promising. He's like, we would like to just speak to the individual. We want to fucking kill him! We don't necessarily want to kill him. We just want to collect what is rightfully ours.
Almost like there is an equally powerful and wealthy red dragon in the neighboring mountain range.
Yeah.
And it's like, they can't go directly head to head because it would just destroy everything, including all their wealth.
Yeah.
And both of them. So they're just like taking pot shots at each other through their minions. So I love this idea. Terry, what do you got for a social encounter with a red dragon?
I like the idea. Okay. This is going all the way back to like tier 1. Going back in the Adventurers Guild and all of the notices are posted, go and save Farmer Jack's sheep at fucking right now.
Dragon egg. Gotcha. Yes.
I like the idea of something seemingly easy, like go and get this magic item and bring it to this person and receive payments.
Farmer Joe's cow went missing. Go find it.
But it's this dragon, and you're like, oh fuck! Like we have to be very careful. Like so, I like the idea of very early being introduced into this ancient red dragon, who you have now proven yourself valuable. Oh, I love magic items. You can go and collect all of the magic items for me, and it's like dealing with a ticking fucking time bomb when you're talking to them.
And it is now. I know you heard me say all. I don't mean most. I don't mean all except one. I mean all.
Oh,
every magic
Swanson
item
with bacon.
Yeah, every one that every magic item you have, including that's a nice sword. I will take that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You can keep it until you bring it back, so that you can go get that magic sword. And I want 2 magic swords, and this is done.
Mm-hmm. I like this because it forces the players to use things other than strength stat to try and get themselves out of an encounter. So, but it's not like a green dragon. It's not bargaining. There's no bargaining here. It's just ticking time.
It's not will you, it's you will.
This, yeah. But to try and defuse this is the hardest trap that the rogue has ever had to try and defuse. Is this fucking red dragon that's in front of them that will just decimate them immediately if not satisfied. But you've done so well in finding this magical lamp. I now want you to go on, in your right, Adam, collect all of these. Yeah. And then worrying
That's like the ultimate swordfish.
Yeah.
Like the movie Swordfish and the scene of Swordfish where the guy's hacking. It's just, this time it's a red dragon breathing over your neck with its hot little breath, and you have to open up that chest because I can't. So you have to, and you had better do it quickly.
But I like to manipulate players so much that it's kind of like, like Grand Theft Auto, where you end up just kind of working for everybody. That would be the early introduction, but then you're off on some other campaign somewhere, and then you're surrounded by his enemies that are now like, look, we need you to do something, and here's your daughter or something as a hostage, so then you're kind of stuck between them. I love that. That's true stress. That would be a wonderful game.
Yeah.
Noted.
All right, so we're going to move on to a shout-out here, and if you listen to the podcast, we're usually either shouting out our gaming groups or mostly Instagram channels. This is not any of those. This is a loyal follower of the podcast who I see posting in the Podbean app. I'm of the 3 of us who listen to podcasts around this table, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that actually uses the Podbean app for it. And am I wrong with that one?
I use iPhone podcast app, so
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say iPhone?
Yes, you are, but you now owe Apple quite a lot of money. Shit, now so do I.
Because I'll switch to Huawei real fast. I don't give a fuck.
Anyways, I just want to shout out a guy who has listened from way back in the day. He's constantly commenting on the episodes, and he is always tossing insights and whatnot.
Well, we don't always respond to everything, we see it all and go, ha 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 ha.
And then life happens.
And then life happens.
So I want to shout out our loyal listener and friend of the show, Doigan, on Podbean.
And that's it.
No, seriously? We have no idea who this guy is. And we see all of his comments, and it's like, there's good insight in
Who is he? Is it even a dude? We don't know. Where's he from?
She, and or they. Like, we know nothing about, but like, probably our most prolific
commenter on our episodes, for sure.
And just every week, or not even every week, sometimes 3 times a week.
Yeah.
There'll be a new comment on.
Doigan, who are you?
Who are you? Reach out to us and be like, sup?
Yeah. Tell us where in the world you are.
Yeah, let us know what's going on, because you are a mystery. I think that you might be a lizard person.
Doigan, are you one of the 35 plus people or whatever in Sweden that are downloading us?
We're pretty big in like the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, we're big in Scandinavia.
Which is weird. We were big in Australia too, and then it burned to the ground.
Are you the German?
Yeah,
the one German person that's downloading our podcast.
Anyways, man, or maybe woman. Doigan, thank you so much for listening, and thanks for commenting. Keep it up. It really
we do enjoy it.
We do enjoy it. We really
bad
do.
at responding to
Podbean. Life, right?
Because I don't log into Podbean.
As much as you may not be able to believe this, we have to do more than just this podcast. We have to go and try and earn money because we live in the most expensive city in the world by choice.
Okay, guys, we're moving on to campaign usage for these guys. For our Red Dragons, we've done this a bunch of times, so I just want to know. We're going to roll the dice. We're going to roll initiative. What is a unique campaign usage for your Red Dragons?
I got an 8. Adam got a 1. Dan got a 19.
I got a 19.
You're going first again.
I briefly mentioned it, this terror of this dragon walking across the realm, cracking the ground, and gouts of flame spewing up from where it goes. We also have touched on the fact that their regional effects cause almost this hellish landscape to just emanate from their mountain. So I want to have an ancient elvish heritage site that is uncovered from this swath of forest or the swath of plain after an earthquake opened it up and freed it. And now you have to go in this Red Dragon's territory as a tier 2 campaign, maybe tier 3. You know there's a big ancient red dragon up there, and you know if he flies over here once, he's going to see these ancient ruins. So you got to get in and you got to get out. You've got to find these ancient elven texts or carvings or markings of long forgotten elven history and retrieve them. I don't like the idea of using a dragon directly as a villain as much as a overwhelming, overarching threat.
So it's an environmental set piece.
It's an environmental set piece that, I mean, you could go up and poke it with the sharp end of the sword, see how that goes for you. It's not going to go well. But have something pop up in its realm, in its region, and now you are kind of doing this heist campaign where the casino boss at the end of the thing is a red dragon who will find out about your trespassing sooner or later. So that's kind of the campaign. This probably not a full 1 to 20 campaign, more like a
something to build on, though.
Something to build on.
Something to build on. I like what you're saying.
So Terry, what you got?
Simba, and I'll expand.
Please do.
I like the idea.
Everything the light touches.
Of James Earl Jones.
Of baboons rubbing fruit juice on your forehead?
I like the idea of the red dragon wormling running away from responsibilities, and you can. I said Simba because that's an obvious one.
I don't want to.
That's your fuck you, Dad. It's a studio, Dad. But for whatever reason,
I swear it's real music.
Latches onto your party, and all you got to do is get a little wormling and do a few cutesy songs. like that, and the party will go, I'm adopting that fucking red dragon wormling immediately, and it becomes theirs. But we know that this dragon is destined to get bigger, is destined to grow, that everybody else in the world thinks that the dragon is evil.
Give your party the conundrum of feeding it.
Exactly. Right? But so now this red dragon is part of your campaign, right from level 1, maybe level 2, whatever, and is with them, but the threat increases all the time. Everybody else hates it. I get it with my dog, who's the sweetest, most loving dog ever, but looks fucking terrifying, and people will come at me on the street and will go, is your dog okay? I'm like, yeah, she's having the time of her life. She's literally more afraid of you than you are of her. And this will be the idea with this.
Cool.
This dragon is getting bigger, it's getting scarier, and I love the idea of it not wanting to follow its destiny that it thinks it's supposed to, which is to become this Cinder King type character.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see how that kind of evolves over the course of a campaign, because that will bring hell to you.
Yeah, you're basically raising your doom.
And all of the kings are going to say, we need to kill this dragon before it gets too big and blah, blah, blah. But we know how parties get loyal to their pets and their familiars and their NPCs. Make a few cutesy sounds at first, but then they get attached, and then the dragon can talk, and then, maybe it gets pregnant, There we go.
And the bard is responsible.
The bard is responsible.
Now you created a race of half-dragons.
Whole whack of half-dragons running around.
It bothers me that there is no half-dragon race. There's dragonborn, but there's no half-dragon.
There's like a half-dragon race, but they're in one of the books.
They're monsters.
They're monsters, yeah.
They're not a race, but they don't need to be a race. You get all of your dragon shit from a million other different places in the player's handbook. Right, your draconic ancestry this, and your dragonborn that, and fuck, you even have kobolds and shit. Like, I don't need a half-dragon.
My only contention is the only playable character with wings is an Aarakocra. I don't want to play a bird person.
Kenku?
Yeah, but they can't. They do have wings, but they're flightless.
Oh, really?
They don't have wings.
Their hands have evolved from their wings.
I'm not sure they have wings.
Aarakocra's the only one. Oh.
The only
Asomars?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it's more of a jump than wings.
Well, my Asomar can fly for 1 minute a day.
And I know there's a variant tiefling that can do it, but
whatever. I don't need to fly in combat. I don't need a half dragon. Anyways, my answer for a campaign long scenario. Allow me to paint you a word picture. First and foremost, we're dealing with a standard high fantasy, low-level campaign. You guys start off at level 1 or 3 or whatever early on, and you're going around and you're fighting, and you've been tasked with doing, errand-level jobs in Tier 1 for wizards and kings and important people, and you hear about other famous adventuring parties that actually sponsor you on a couple of things, and so on and so forth. And then the Merchant Guild, the leader of the Merchant Guild, is just no longer there. And you guys hear about fires that are being set, like an entire village burned down over on the other side of the mountain range. And, people are talking about it, but it doesn't really affect you. And it's just little rumors. And then the wizard has disappeared. And then the palace burns down in the middle of the night. And nobody knows if the royal family got out. And all of this is just backdrop as there's slowly this crazy anarchy that's coming. All of the most high-powered people, high-level priests, high-level wizards are disappearing. There are big, large guilds and farmsteads. Everything from farmsteads to kingdoms are burning to the ground. All this fire stuff going on. And then it is revealed, mid-tier 3, there's an ancient red dragon that has moved into the nearby mountain range. Mm-hmm. But it's weird that they haven't had dominion over this area yet. And so as you are hunting down what happened to the wizard, and this is just a background detail about the red dragon, you're like, oh, I guess eventually we're fighting a red dragon, but who gives a shit? Right? Right now we have to figure out what happened to the sorcerer guild, well, whatever, right? So you guys are off doing that, and the clues start to lead you towards cult members, because of course it does, but the cult members are all chaotic evil and don't seem to be working well together, and they're all in fear of she who I don't know, there's some crazy freaking title, she with hot breath, but something like a little bit, yeah, right? But some terrifying name or title. It doesn't lead you back to the red dragon immediately, and slowly you figure out that the red dragon has been kidnapping people. And there is a gold dragon that is in the area that he just fucking hates. And he has been kidnapping everybody to come up with ways to kill this gold dragon. And he's got everybody else in cages in his lair, all these high-powered people. And if they don't do what he says, he burns down their village, or he kills the king that they...
Oh, so the instances are a direct response of what's happened previously that you weren't aware of.
Yeah, and so it's slowly revealed to you that this red dragon has been pulling the strings of absolutely everything this entire time, and you don't know it. And the red dragon, like I say, intelligence of 18, just totally easily enraged. But is smart enough to not fly off the handle at you. I still need you, goddamn. All right, that's it. I'm burning down your tower. I need a high-level wizard, so I'm just going to burn down your tower and kill all of your golems and homunculi that live inside of it, right? And I need the priest, but I will burn down your temple, right? And so there's all of these threats. Instead of going after the players' families, go after the NPCs' families,
Right.
And until there's just smoke on the horizon all of the time.
Yeah.
The skies are starting to get smoggy and smoky, and visibility if you stand on top of a hill and look out, the visibility is not as clear as it used to be.
I like that for a sense of urgency, is you don't know where this dragon is going to strike next.
Yeah.
And how long you have. It's almost like that serial killer type effect.
Yeah. And then you can have someone that's really close to the party that has been leveling up with you, more powerful, whatever that merchant or NPC, whoever it is, that's a close ally and has been for levels and levels and levels, now goes missing. And you guys decide, okay, we figured this out now, we're going to go fight this, or we're going to go up into the red dragon lair, and you head up into the mountains, and the red dragon flies overhead towards your kingdom. Or your keep, or your home base, and is flying there, and you have a choice to make. Do you go and rescue everybody while the red dragon's away? Which is just going to piss it off. Or do you go back and fight it out in the open?
Yeah.
Outside of its lair.
Yeah. Which way are you going with this? And that would be probably not the last thing to happen, but one of the last. Mm-hmm. My big question is, what is a red dragon going to need all of these people to do in order to kill a gold dragon?
Right.
And I don't have that answer off the top of my head. Something magic-y, right? I don't know yet. But we're going to need all of the king's gold to be able to buy the ships so that we can get all of the ancient minerals from over here, or the runic stones, and bring them over to this area so the wizard, or so the dwarves can break down the minerals to create the object for the artificer that he makes so the wizard can cast a spell. And it's this long, convoluted thing. But you're piecing it together over entire sessions and whatnot. So
I talked to you a few weeks ago about elemental dragons, like volcanic dragons. So maybe he needs all the greatest minds in the kingdom to
imbue himself with an elemental whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or just to beef up his dragon breath, or maybe he needs to. Maybe he was an adult dragon, and you are going to push his body forward through time so he can become an ancient dragon to take on the adult gold.
Love it.
So there's
that's a solid campaign. I love that one.
Yeah, that one's been sitting on the back burner for me for 3 years, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to get around to it. Right? That's a good, solid campaign. I got 2 or 3 other things that I'm really excited about first.
Man, and that's it. Red dragons.
No, I absolutely love red dragons. We've mentioned before we've now done all the chromatic red dragons, guys.
All one of the chromatic red dragons.
Sorry, we've done all of the chromatic dragons, guys. Technically, there's 4, but we've done all of the chromatic dragons. Which is your favorite? Now that we're done all of them, what's your favorite?
Are we rolling?
Sure.
No?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? That's what we promised the people, right? 10.
Natural 20.
14.
20.
I had natural 1 before, so I'm
You're balanced.
All right. Oh, last night I rolled a disadvantage. You got 20 and a 1. Fucking shoot me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yep. So I still like green best. Green is still my favorite.
Green is
They're
so
just
new, though.
conniving. They're plotting. You think you've beaten them, but no, they've got 6 contingency plans going off. And even if you kill it, it has shit going on that you will feel for the next few levels. Right? If you kill me, then my agent that has been watching your family
Yeah.
will know.
That's so green. Yeah, you're
right.
right.
And
Yeah.
I like, you don't win against a green dragon. You just defeat it and hope for the best.
Yeah. It's like P.S. I love you, but bad stuff. P.S. fuck you. That's what that's a green dragon.
Is that not the same? Never mind.
No. Yikes. Know what? I love reds. They've got a very special place in my heart. I gotta say, I still love my blues.
Yeah.
I love the boastfulness of them and the openness for more of a social aspect to them. Like, red dragons are just going to kill you, blacks are going to peel you, whites are going to hunt you, and greens are going to manipulate you. Blues are going to...
They could really go any way.
They could go
right.
They could go however they wish. So I feel a little bit more free with the blue.
With blues, it's really up to you which way they go.
Yeah, right? But, like...
I think the blue is the DM's dragon, where you can have a blue stand in for yourself.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, assholes. Right, and talk directly to your party.
Yeah.
And you're not even doing a voice, just, I am a blue dragon, and you guys need to stop splitting the party. So...
Yeah.
Because you might piss me off. And then, ooh.
Derek, what about you?
It seems so boring that we're sticking with what it was previously, but I just love blacks. I love their sadistic nature. I love that's what I find truly terrifying. Yes, the might of the red dragon, their rage, but the black dragon is not going to kill you quickly. It's not rage.
A black dragon wants to see how long it can live without as many bones as it can extract, right? Like,
yeah, it's exactly. It's how long can they keep you alive?
But that being said, red is my second favorite.
Red is my second as well. Mostly because with red, I find red maybe the black dragons, but reds are the ones that have the, traditional, fervent cultists who fear them deeply. Like I could find myself doing more to build a fully formed campaign around a red dragon than I can a black dragon.
What was the consort of Tiamat's name? Something like that.
Something like that. That's involved with the Gith Yankee. Gith Yankee. Ephelamos, I think.
Ephelamon.
Ephelamon. Yeah.
Was it a black dragon? Or?
No,
He was a red
dragon. It was the consort of Tiamat, and he was the one that introduced the idea of the fact that Gith, capital G, the person, was dead, but it's okay because the dragon's going to team up with the Gith Yankee moving forward, right? So I like the idea. How was that a red dragon? Doesn't that seem like a blue or a green or even a black? Right? Well, it's just weird that one's a red dragon, but it lends the idea that, and again, an 18 in intelligence, it lends the idea that these are hyper-intelligent creatures still. They're still smarter than half of your party.
Yeah, it depends. It has a little bit of a green, like, green dragon strikes me as like Jafar type.
Yeah, but the moment that he became a genie, he was a red dragon.
He went red, yeah.
Yeah, right. And that I think is the difference between them. And
the only reason why it makes sense that Ephelamon is a red dragon is because they are, and they believe this to the core of their being, they are the chosen of dragonkind by Tiamat. Like, but the other dragons are, offspring of Tiamat, yes, but we are chosen by Tiamat. All of those are the bastard children. We're the beloved son. That's what this is.
Yeah, and I like him as a consort of, like, I personally know. I feel like most ancient red dragons have spoken with Tiamat.
Oh, they're name dropping.
Yo, absolutely right. So
I was out at dinner with Tia the other day, and
I call her Tia. She doesn't mind.
I call her Matt.
There's 5 heads. Am I speaking to Tia or Matt right now?
But
the whites and the green love it, but the rest of them aren't thrilled.
But the idea of this red dragon just having a personal relationship with Tiamat and being, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess just more special than all of the other ones.
Yeah,
that interests me as well because I think that it's not just that they think they're better, like the blue, and it's not their inferiority complex, which is what I would put on a green and even a black to a certain degree as well.
Yeah,
right. These guys, they know it in their heart that they're special, they're chosen, but they are, right? Like, that's, objectively speaking, they are the special ones. These are the important ones. And if you are... I have trouble building an entire campaign around a green dragon, or a blue dragon, or a black dragon.
They are a top-tier set piece.
Absolutely.
They're not the end goal of the campaign. A red dragon can be.
Yeah, and as much as I did say earlier that, I like them to be controlled maybe by, like, the staff of dragon.
Yeah.
I still twitch thinking about that stupid movie. Jeremy Irons, come on, man.
Hey, he was the
better
best
choices.
part of that movie.
He really, truly was.
I did see it, but it was when it came out, like 2000.
That's the movie you saw, you fuck?
I was a child, Adam. I'd not even begin to annoy you at that point.
I don't know what annoys me most about that movie.
I can't remember.
Controlling dragons, like controlling red dragons with his little red dragon
the
staff.
Beholder dogs.
Or the Beholder watchdogs. I don't know what annoys me more about that movie. I think it's the Beholder watchdogs.
For me, it's whatever that shit was in what's his dude's Blue Lips ears, right?
Oh, yeah.
What was that? And then nothing... All right, you know what? Fine, fuck it. What a garbage movie. But the idea of, you know what? If you kill me, you will release the red dragon. And then, but of course you have to kill him.
Yeah.
Right? And then the red dragons come and you got to fight the big red dragon. Like, that makes sense to me as a big final set piece. Also, the idea of the red dragon cult makes a lot of sense too. But I feel like even though they're chaotic, right?
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
But I feel like a cult needs to be lawful to some degree. And so
I just be fucking Motley Crue all the time. Yeah.
Well, I
even Motley Crue has a freaking agent and a manager.
Even Motley Crue know they have to be at the show at 8 p.m. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The cults you see are the chaotic evil ones. The cults that run the show, they're all awful.
Yeah,
Right? And
well,
they're just be like, all right, you know, 7 crazies, you could go over there and burn down that warehouse.
Well, I think that they're going to be the mouthpiece. The Red Dragon's not going to talk to them directly, right? No. The cult leader is going to, like, come in, close the door behind him, so they'll be like, so she's very displeased with what's happened.
the next
Has no eyebrows.
Yeah. Battalion 7 is dead. Yeah. So... Congratulations, you, Battalion 8, are now Battalion 7.
has been cleansed.
Yeah.
Battalion 7 has been cleansed.
Right. And that's just it. And all of the, I don't know, bugbears, orcs, gnolls, or, well, not gnolls, but... Okay, so... There is a farmstead that needs to be burned to the ground because a gold piece is missing, and she will be heading north, so you must be heading south to enact and exact her will, and I'm going to stay here and recount the gold to make sure nothing else is going right? And, like, there's got to be a manager of this. This is definitely a band manager, right? Or an actor's agent, right? Like, she wants only yellow Skittles in the bowl, right? Like,
Exactly.
in the dressing room.
But I have a feeling this guy's either a half-elf or a gnome.
Yeah.
Just because you think everyone's a gnome. I see him as actually kind of a mid-level devil.
Oh, yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah.
I love that idea. She specifically requested killing all of the gnomes. You've killed the halflings. This is going to affect the relationship with the blue in the south. Rethink this whole thing.
No, but I think that would be a lot of fun. You know, actually, I see this as a fire genasi.
Oh, yeah, cool.
An evil fire genasi that's in this for the profit and the protection and everything else. And, I mean... Red dragons can't live forever, right? So maybe I can get a little something, and right, and they could have their own spin on it, and they're the real big bad evil guy for the entire campaign because the other one pulling the strings. But then nope, they were working for the red dragon all along, and here it is, and this is what you have to deal with.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it for sure. Well, guys, that'll be it for this episode on Red Dragons. Unless you guys have any other final thoughts.
That's just it, man. That's the end of chromatic dragons.
It is.
Well, hold on. I got one final thought. What does a red dragon egg look like?
Black with
like molten lava,
with like molten
veins
lines,
of, like veins of lava.
Yeah, and it's constantly smoking and steaming. It's too hot to touch, and like paper and highly flammable materials just instantly ignite around
I
it.
think when it cracks, it's like the lava leaks out kind of like yolk, and the dragon is revealed inside of it.
Cool. No, I'm into that. There's nothing that I inherently disagree
Because
with.
what that means is if you come across the hatchery then you have an environmental hazard in a puzzle of when they're cracking, the floor is leaking out and becoming lava as well.
I like the idea of you got to find this red dragon egg, and you walk into the hatchery, whatever, right, where it's being stored, and you walk in, and you just can't find it. There's an altar there, and there's scorch marks all over the place, but it's not there. You did pass by a giant pool of water that's bubbling in the first room.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And there's just steam in this area. And everyone's just like, oh, because hot springs and so on and so forth, right? But no, the red dragon egg is in the water to keep it cool so it doesn't hatch right now while they're trying to like get the nursery ready, because fuck. So the nursery's not painted yet. We're not ready.
And that's the fire genasi.
I
Cool.
mean,
Now,
she said, "Crimson walls. These are clearly scarlet." She's going to lose her fucking mind.
okay, just real quick. We have talked about what blue dragon eggs look like and what red dragon eggs look like.
Yeah.
We're missing the other three.
no, I think we touched on white, right? They're just like solid ice.
Solid.
Just solid, like blue ice or white ice.
I think that you can see inside of a white dragon egg. Like, it is clear ice. You can see the white dragon forming inside.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What about a black?
Black dragon egg, I imagine, would be...
You know the eggs from the xenomorphs in Alien, right?
That's what I was going to say,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
Yeah.
They all open and
Acidic,
they're like
yeah.
kind of fleshy.
Yeah, and
Like, rather than hard
Fit,
shell.
because they're very gaunt and kind of...
Yeah.
I like the idea of it is like fleshy. But
And just like acid and tendrils and slime
They
everywhere.
don't crack so much as they kind of just peel away.
Yeah.
They just kind of
They
deteriorate.
just open out of the top. That's
Yeah.
it.
And what does that leave
Green.
us with? Green?
A green, I think, is just traditional, like...
Well, as long as
Big-
there's also green ham beside it, Dan.
I
I am.
I both hate and respect you.
Thank you for listening to It's a Mimic. Check us out online at itsamimic.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have questions you would like answered by the guys on the show? Send them an email to itsamimic@gmail.com. Tune in every Tuesday for more.
What you got for us, Terry?
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Like, that we believe in? Or it's just so fucking ridiculous that...
Well, you tell. If you guys have conspiracy theories, tell them to me.
I don't have any, really, like,
Some people are. It depends what you know. You might be into the towers. There, some people are in the old twin towers.
No, I
entire-
like to think I'm a fairly logical person, so a lot of that stuff I'm just all like, this is someone looking for some sort of, like, they're just looking for a reason to be mad. That's what a
Maybe.
lot of conspiracy theories feel
Why
like
was
to
an
me.
entire wing of the Pentagon empty when a plane fucking flew into it, Dan?
Oh,
At what, 9:30 in the morning or whenever it was?
because it was 9:30 morning and the government workers. I don't know what to tell you.
Dan, I'm just saying it's there, right? Some people think that Hitler lives in Argentina.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Look, I love conspiracy theories. I love my Area 51 shit. But, I mean, I don't believe it. It's just a fun thought exercise. But at some point, there's some that you're like, this isn't even really a theory anymore. Like the idea of the Americans start a war every time that the election or the campaign trail is starting to gear up again. Like that's not a theory, right? That just happens.
Yeah.
Right. So there's some stuff. And like, at what point do you start believing in shadowy organizations?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, actually, I kind of do have one. Because do we include, like, Bigfoot
Right.
And-
if there was
and
any conspiracy
cryptids
theory...
in here?
If there was any conspiracy theory that I do not believe in, it's definitely Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all
Really?
that stuff. What? That's the only fucking species in the forest that we haven't found yet.
Well, no, they discover new species every single day.
Okay, but you would think you'd discover one the size of a gorilla pretty fast.
Maybe.
they
maybe
discover
not.
new ones every day in the ocean. Because we know more about space than we do about the ocean.
True, but they also find some in like the deep, dark jungles and forests in the interior. And,
No,
and-
well, they
and-
think Bigfoot's North America, right? So,
Well, Bigfoot's North America, yeah, but I mean, Sasquatch is a little bit further south. There's its cousin, the Yeti, and
it would have been discovered by now. That's like, okay, look, we found all kinds of bear. We found all the cougars and the big cats. That Bigfoot's got to be out here somewhere. Maybe it's just not there. Nope, definitely is. There's definitely 3 of them. Like,
Is the plural Bigfoots or Big Feet?
I would say Bigfoots because Bigfoot is a proper name. Oh,
yeah. Well, Bigfoot. Well, I always make
They're
the point,
Sasquatches.
why the hell are they not called the Toronto Maple Leaves? Because that drives me fucking insane.
The fact that the Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Ugh. It annoys me. That's hockey, America.
Yeah. Well, it took me years to get over the fact that people called the Montreal Canadiens the Habs. I did not know why. I'm like,
Why is that?
they are les habitants, I think is what it is. They're like that is what they title themselves.
Really?
Yeah. And
It's French Canadian.
But it's spelled.
Montreal
But it's spelled.
Canadiens.
But it's spelled
with the E.
Canadien,
Yeah.
which is like French.
French for Canadian. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the H, which a lot of people say, oh, the H stands for, Habs. It's the Habitants. No, it's hockey. H stands for hockey. That's what it stands for. I did a big deep dive into like hockey names and even ones from the past and how clubs came by their names. A lot of it's really weird. Others is just like, no, they held a poll.
Well, this has become hockey. And so, conspiracy theories, hockey. Okay. That's it. That's all we have on conspiracy theories, I think.
Oh, I'm off my own little world just sitting here running the math on whether or not there are shadow
9/11 gets me, though. 9/11 does get me.
9/11 doesn't get me. No way. You know what? You want to know how jet fuel can melt beams? Is because that heat had nowhere else to go except into the metal. Yes, if I light a fire out in the open, it's like if you close your fist around a firecracker, it's going to blow your hand off. But if you have an open palm and put it on top, it's just going to burst, and your hands
imploding down like a controlled demolition.
You don't think the architects would have done that on purpose in order to try to build a tower that size to collapse in a specific way if it were to happen?
Maybe, but also the Pentagon wing gets me.
I think that it is lucky more than anything else. Also, the plane hit the ground first, and so it didn't have full contact with the building itself, or we would have seen more wreckage. So I think it's lucky more than anything else that there was nobody hurt inside. And then, guess what? The moment that the plane hit, guess who all left? Right? Like, some of this stuff is
That's true. Yeah.
can be logicked away at some point. And then there are...
What about all of the selling of the stocks the day before or something? Like the price quadrupled and everybody sold their stock or something like that. Yeah.
I think that people are looking for trends after the fact. Correlation does not equal causation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will say I'm definitely in the camp that does believe that there is some sort of like upper echelon of power that uses the systems and laws we have in place.
It's like the CEO of freaking the Bank of China and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not even Walmart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is, and it's not governments. It's the people that own the governments, right? But, okay, here's one for you.
Moon landing.
Moon landing totally happened.
100%. My grandma at one point was no, it wasn't a shot. It never happened. And I had to sit down and have a serious like heart to heart with her and be like, listen, as much as I love sci-fi, I cannot be the nerd who loves sci-fi and has a grandma who does not believe in the moon landing. We need to work this out.
Okay.
And like,
moon landing happened. I believe you guys if you say it did happen.
Yeah.
Do you think there was a guy in the grassy knoll?
What's the grassy knoll?
Yes.
The second shooter for JFK's assassination?
Oh, I don't know enough about that one to comment.
I would say there was.
That's so yeah. You know what? That one's hard to tell. Forensic evidence was not as good back then as it is now, and everyone seems to think that it is. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What else? What are the other big conspiracy theories?
I don't know what the other big ones are.
I'm not big on the lizard people.
No, fuck the lizard people.
No. What about mole men?
No, mole men are just less effective lizard people.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything in Area 51. I think if you were hiding stuff, it's like the whole idea that the devil's greatest trick was proving you that he never existed. Tell everyone that it's in Area 51. It's over here.
Yeah, like go to the heart of the Nevada desert. There's totally a base over there that has aliens in it.
But don't go, let's go, lock it down.
Yeah, no, somewhere underneath like a military base in Connecticut is where they hold the aliens.
Because here we go. I've been a soldier, and you must be fucking high if you think that 19-year-old private that's standing on the gate that knows what he's guarding is not going down the bar after work getting pissed drunk and telling fucking everybody that there's aliens over there.
We have Snapchat today, right? Like,
exactly.
This is why there's no Bigfoot, right? Is the fact that we
haven't seen Bigfoot
celebrity buttholes at this point. You think that we're gonna look? We've seen big, hairy, nasty things before.
Yeah.
You think that Bigfoot's not on that list?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Mm-hmm. What about Nessie?
No.
No, Dan.
Loch Ness is not that big.
No, it's a small lake.
If we have fish finders, we definitely have Loch Ness monster finders.
if you have half a brain about ecology and the amount of food that's necessary to feed a creature,
feed that thing.
Yeah, right. Like this is my problem with dragons, and I know that like we just did an episode on dragons.
But how do they survive?
Yeah, but like they must eat so much food that like it's such an issue that the idea that there's 3 dragons living in this country. No, there isn't. There absolutely is not. They're the skinniest black dragons that you have ever seen.
The amount of like cattle and farms.
And what's your name? Anorexia.
Yeah, it's just not possible. It's not possible. It's not even this. Well, they say that a liger, like a lion and a tiger, it's not even possible for them to survive in the wild. They're too big. They need too many calories to survive.
Can do. Red dragons straight off the gate have more hit points.
Nope, straight off the bat, Dan.
Straight off the bat have more. Sorry, Terry. straight out the bat. Nope. Straight off the bat. Is that it?
No, my God. Straight out of the gate.
I might kill you tonight. I'm going to remove my shirt, Dan.
All right. Well, I was going to cut that out and leave it, but nope. That's going to be an end credits tag. That's what that is.